La Habra High School, home of the Highlanders. La Habra is going for an Orange County record 5th consecutive CIF football championship. I always say that what you can do is you could lift La Habra High School up on a Friday night football game, drop in the middle of Iowa, it would fit in just fine. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to OCVarsity.com. It's time for the Gridiron Show. I'm Steve Fry here with Carlos Arias and Dan Albano and Jonathan Khamis doing all the editing and producing and everything else behind the camera there to make us look good. We're going to do a little playoff predictions time, guys. It's finally the playoffs. They're here at last. Let's take a look at a couple divisions here. We'll start by talking about the big game in the division and make our predictions. Let's start with the Southern Division, fellas. For me, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, but the big game is Los Amigos versus Costa Mesa High School. I think this is a very evenly matched game. Los Amigos, #2 team from the Garden Grove League. Costa Mesa, #2 from the Orange Coast League. To me, it's sort of a toss-up. I like Los Amigos in this game. I kind of like sort of the atmosphere they come out of in the Garden Grove League. They lost that tough one to Rancho Alamitos, but it's a tough physical group. I like Saldivar and Hernandez. I think they're good football players. Carlos, you know, Costa Mesa's also got a running back, Super Mario.
You know what? I got to go with Super Mario and Costa Mesa. You know, the guy scores like a madman. Yeah. I mean, he's just absolutely a touchdown waiting to happen. I love that team. They're so fun to watch. They're just always explosive on offense. Both these teams are coming off losses in their regular season finale for the league title. So you know they're hungry. You know, both of them are going to give it their all. I'm expecting a great game, but Costa Mesa is going to win.
All right, Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm picking Costa Mesa as well, and I think Los Amigos had a tough time stopping the run last week against Rancho Alamitos. I think they'll have a tough time with Super Mario. We'll see how many touchdowns, how many yards he gets, but he's put up some huge numbers, so it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, Mario Smith, 7 touchdowns the other day, Dan, so a fantastic day. Now, as far as the Southern Division goes, you know, last year it was Garden Grove over Beckman in the Josh Webb game, really, you know, for Garden Grove.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man for sure. And then we've got, you know, Beckman and Corona Del Mar look like the two best teams. Now, Beckman just beat Corona Del Mar last week. I think it's going to be a rematch in the final, and I think this time Corona Del Mar gets it done, and they beat Beckman in the final. What do you think, Carlos?
You're still sticking with the Sea-King. I'm going with Beckman, man. They're battle-tested. They've been there before, been there, done that. They're ready to take the championship. Jeff Kim can't be stopped. This guy is going crazy since he's been back. I'm going Beckman all the way.
Yeah, and Brian Brooks has been pretty good for them, too, running the ball. Hey.
Yeah, I'm going with the revenge factor on this one. I'm going to pick Corona Del Mar. You know, they're going to get revenge against Beckman, and I was surprised that score got a little high, you know, last week. But I like Corona Del Mar's defense. I like their speed, but they didn't. You know, congrats to Beckman. They didn't get CDM did not get it done, but I think they'll get the title. Yeah,
it was a 32-point lead at one point in the third quarter. It was still out of like a 5-point game or something like that. Okay, on to the Southwest Division, fellas. Boy, there's so many big games in this one. You know, you've got Foothill at Buena Park. We've got Capistrano Valley against Brea Linda. I think those are all like pretty evenly matched games. But the one that intrigues me is Esperanza against El Toro. Now, El Toro is third seed in this division, I think it is. And Esperanza is a #3 team out of that Century League. But I think that Esperanza is pretty good. They got Troy Poole. They run the ball pretty good. They've got a great football tradition. However, I still think I like El Toro in that game quite a bit. In that division, if you can throw the football, it's a huge advantage. And they got that junior QB over there, Connor Manning, who's having one heck of a year. So El Toro versus Esperanza, Dan. I'm picking ET. Who do you got?
Yeah, I like El Toro as well. I think, you know, Esperanza has thrown the ball well at times this year with Tumlinson.
Yeah.
And they have a good running back in Poole. So I think they're going to be dangerous. I was impressed with the Century League this year. They got some depth to it, but I think Connor Manning and that offensive attack by El Toro has been tremendous. So he's been very accurate. He's been 4 games without a interception, and that's really bodes well this time of year.
Okay, Carlos, El Toro, Esperanza, you going with us? Chargers take it?
You know what? I saw Esperanza had to win their way into the playoffs. Yeah. I think they had to win their last 3 games to get in. That shows a lot about, you know, this ticker in there. You know what they got. They're tough, man. But you know, Manning's awesome. I saw them in practice. I haven't seen him play in a game, and I saw that kid chucking it around like 50 yards in the air, and I'm like, okay, that kid can throw the ball a little bit. So I'm taking El Toro, and they got a great offensive line too. So you know, you got to go with El Toro.
Well, it's going to be a fun division to watch. In my semifinal picks, guys, I've got Villa Park over Cypress in one semi and La Habra over El Toro in the other one. And in the final, I got La Habra winning another one against Villa Park. No knock on VP, man. That's a great football team that had a fun year. But I think La Habra, maybe that extra big game experience might put them over the edge. Carlos, what do you think?
Well, I think I'm going to watch Highlander again, and there can only be one. It's going to be the Highlanders, dude. I really like La Habra. I mean, they put their athletes in a position to make plays. Brett Bartoloni, Aaron Porter, they're having a tough time at running back. Boom, throw on Aaron Porter. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, that's good stuff. I really like how they use their players.
I also think and this is the case again, I usually never know what you're talking about. Dan, what do you think? Who's going to win this division?
I'm picking La Habra. I saw Villa Park this year, and they are really impressive to me. I'm voting them 6th in Orange County right now. I don't know if anybody else is voting them as high as I am. That's how good I think they are. Villa Park is really legit. They've got athletes. They got a very balanced team. But they have everything except they don't have the great playoff. They don't have the experience. They didn't play a very strong non-league schedule, and that's what La Habra has over them. They played through 3 Trinity League teams. I mean, they took their lumps because they want to win now, and that's what will get them over the hump. But I think Villa Park also has to watch out for what's going to be a hungry Tustin team, perhaps, if they, those 2 teams meet in the quarterfinals. That could be interesting.
And for more on La Habra's football team, we caught up with Coach Frank Mazzotta and a couple of his players.
The focus is week to week. It's not going to be, we're not talking about CIF championships right now. We're talking about Kennedy in the first round, playing the best that we can, making sure that we get better. So each week, with each round that comes along, that we're better than we were the week before.
It would mean everything to me to go out senior year with that 5P, be the first team in Orange County to do that. I'm really excited.
I really don't know what it feels like to lose. We've had great coaches and great players, so that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for everyone that we have.
Okay, now on to the big enchilada on the plate, the Pac-5 division. Some great games all over the place in this one. I think the one that really intrigues me is Tesoro against Edison on Friday over at Orange Coast College. I'll be hanging out over that one doing the updates at OCVarsity.com. Imagine John Khamis will be there as well, John. Yeah, he's going to be there too maybe. Okay, so it should be a fantastic game. Almost a coin flip game. Tesoro's pretty good. They didn't look good at all last week against San Clemente. But maybe they kind of had a little bit of trouble. They spent a lot of emotion perhaps in that tough, close loss to Mission. But Tesoro is going to come out, and they're going to play really well. But I really like Edison in this game. I think Coach White's going to have those guys primed up, ready to go. I think Chase Favreau is a little bit better quarterback than a lot of people give him credit for because of his running ability. He's sort of like Tim Tebow with a better arm, so to say, a lefty kind of guy. And 2 for 8 the other day for Tebow. So, I think that Edison takes this game. I'm going to start with you, Dan. What do you think? Edison, Tesoro, who do you like?
I like Edison as well. I think about Edison is I think what's really going to be motivating him this year is, remember last year, Pac-5, their first round game was against Santa Margarita, and they just got blown out. And you just don't ever see Edison teams get blown out that badly by which, turned out to be a very good Santa Margarita team. So I think, that's been a big motivation for Edison this year, that they want to show that they're back and they're going to represent. And I think they're going to get a victory. But I think Tesoro kind of laying away too. Last year they didn't play well. Week 10, I believe, and then they got a big playoff victory against Amat on the road. So, and I think Brian Barnes is doing a great job there at Tesoro. So, but I like Edison.
Yeah, absolutely. Carlos, what's your take on this one, sir?
You know what? I've seen Tesoro back-to-back weeks, past 2 weeks, and I don't know what happened in that San Clemente game, to be honest with you. When they played Mission, they were battling Mission to the end, and Mission should have lost that game, or at least it should have gone overtime. So, I think people are sleeping on Tesoro because of that really bad loss last week, but I think they're coming back, and I think they're going to take the Chargers.
All right, nice pick over there. Okay, now for the championship of the Pac-5 division, I'll tell you what my Final Four is, guys. I've got Servite and Bosco in one half, and then Santa Margarita, Mission Viejo in the other one. I got Margarita beating Mission, Servite beating Bosco, and then Servite over Margarita in a rematch at the big place over there in State College in Orangewood. So it should be a lot of fun. So what do you think, Carlos? Who's your championship pick in the Pac-5 division, man?
I think we look like idiots picking anything in the Pac-5 because there's so many teams that can do anything in that division. But I'm not going to be the idiot that picks against Servite, so I'm picking Servite.
Very good, idiot. How about you, Dan?
Well, I picked Santa Margarita last week and almost was right.
Yeah.
2-point conversion maybe, playing double overtime. Sure. But I think that was the window right there. I think that was Santa Margarita's window. Probably serves as a wake-up call for Servite as well. So I think Servite's going to a three-peat. As amazing as that is in the Pac-5, just kind of rattles your brain to think that they could win that many in that division against all these top Division I teams. But I think they're gonna. I can't see anybody beating them.
Yeah, but I think Marguerite's got a shot. I really do. I mean, they match up so well with Servite.
Man, Johnny Stanton, he cannot be stopped. I mean, that 2-point conversion saved Servite. I mean, they couldn't stop him at all.
Yeah, I think he's the reason they said let's go for 2 and let's get this thing out of here. So that's what's going on in the playoffs. Those are our picks. We've got our picks over there. I've got my column coming out with my predictions for all the divisions involving Orange County teams. So it's a great week of football here. It's playoff time, everybody, here at OCVarsity.com, where we've got you covered.